Welcome back to Escapement and Watch. I drink matcha green tea and I talk about Seikos.
Well, now today we're gonna talk about Rolex.
Not happening.
Is happening. Yeah, Studio 29 sent you a watch.
What watch?
The one you're wearing right now?
Oh, this? I thought it was a gift from a subscriber.
Obviously not.
Oh, man. So I have to give this back.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
Let's begin. First, thanks to Studio 29 for lending this watch into the channel. If you want to buy this watch, look in the description for their website and you can head on over and check the inventory. And this watch can be yours. Now let's check out the unboxing experience. We have a cream cardboard box with the logo impressed or embossed lightly on the top. I can't see it through the camera lens, so I'm not sure if you guys are looking at it or seeing it right now, but it's very difficult to see. Nonetheless, here's the unboxing experience. All right, and simple but effective, beautiful green. It is so vivid. This is that legendary green box. Yep, we got the gold crown. It kind of looks like this opens up with like a window or something, but it doesn't. It's just a cutout for design. And now let's get to the good stuff. There she is. And we have a secret compartment at the back for your warranty, national or worldwide services. And there's your card. And then there is a book and another book. We got some extra links if you need a bigger size. This is cool. It has a hologram on it. It has the Rolex logo and the word everywhere. And it might be difficult to see, but it's really cool. I don't know if this signifies anything, but it's there. Let's check out the watch. You got another tag. All right, there she is. Very nice. Man, let's check her out. Okay, so I'm going to put the box away and we'll get into the review. Let's begin. Introducing the Rolex Submariner date 126610LN Lunette Noire. That's French for black. Now, I was supposed to get the Kermit or the Starbucks, whatever you want to call it. That's basically the same watch, but there's a green Cerachrome bezel instead. But there was a customer coming in at 3 o'clock to pick it up, so I was not going to wait 4 hours to see if they were going to buy it or not. So I just grabbed the LN and took off. Now, what do you guys think of this beautiful watch? Now, the case shape. Usually we say, usually we're looking at Submariner homages of some sort and we say Submariner style case. Well, in this case, we have the Submariner case. There's nothing really to say about it. It is an iconic design from 1953 and imitated by many and perfected by Rolex. We have a high polish sides and the case is very, very straight. Now, what you guys will notice is the side slab tapers down. It is not straight. There you can see it. And it flows nicely into those curved lugs. I'm a big fan of the new lug profile. It is slimmed down. Reminds me a little bit more of the 5-digit, the old sub, which is my favorite sub. So a little bit more cohesive and streamlined look. The first ceramic from 2010 had a more bulkier look, even though it was smaller at 40mm. So I'm a fan of the direction Rolex has taken the Submariner. What do you guys think of this new case shape? Now the movement. Also, this has a new movement. The 3235. Introduced, I believe, in 2015, but the Submariner is getting it now. and 70 hours of power reserve, 28.8 VPH, 31 joules, free sprung balance. That's anti-magnetic with the para chrome hairspring. That's that blue hairspring. And it's made out of niobium, I believe, and zirconium. So it's very anti-magnetic. The movement has a brand new escapement. They offset the pallet a little bit to increase the leverage or leverage effect. So a little bit less energy needed to move that escapement. They skeletonized the escapement to make it lighter, so less inertia, easier to move or change. And then the final thing is they decreased the size of the jewels on the pallet fork. Okay, so less surface area, but then they doubled the surface area on that skeletonized escape wheel. So the surface area technically should be the same as it used to be, but this is just a different technique. Apparently it's about 15% more efficient, and that helps give it a longer power reserve. The final trick of the movement is the barrel. So the mainspring was increased. We now have 70 hours of power reserve, but to do that without increasing the watch size, Rolex carved out the inner walls of that barrel, making it thinner. Some watchmakers are saying this is a negative because it is almost impossible to open that barrel to replace the mainspring for maintenance. You just have to replace the whole assembly, barrel and mainspring. So a little bit less serviceability there. And the rotor is now a one piece with a ball bearing instead of an axle like the old one. The axle, when it gets old, if you neglect it, grinds up and makes a white powder everywhere on the movement. Requires a lot of lubrication. This new ball bearing, one piece, more reliable. I'm a fan of this change, and definitely requires less lubrication and won't grind up into paste. Now the measurements. These are the measurements that I got. 40.8 millimeters in diameter, 12.3 in thickness, and a lug to lug of 48.1. So that is a beautiful size, a little bigger than the old one, but hardly noticeable to the naked eye. And the secret measurement, the bezel itself, I got 40.4. So that's the visual look of the watch. Your eye is gonna basically see a 40. However, this watch has a lot of presence. It does wear, I would say, slightly bigger. Now the bracelet, it is the beautiful and legendary Oyster. Look at that 904L stainless steel. The end links are perfect, 21 mil lug width, so it got a little bit wider there, but it matches that taper perfectly, and it tapers down to 16. So 21 to 16, 5 mil taper. Looks very elegant. I like that. Now here's the clasp. It has a Rolex logo on the flip lock. You just pop it open and pull. That's it. There we go. Now this watch does have a little bit of a trick, the famous glide lock. Very smooth. Oh man, this is nice. Everything works perfectly. This is a beautiful bracelet. Rolex is known for their bracelets, and it shows. It's unbelievable. Bracelets are phenomenal. Feels super high quality. The case back is solid as usual, and you can't see the beautiful new movement, unfortunately. And the new movement is all beveled on the edges, so the finishing is improved, but you won't see it unless you're a watchmaker. Now let's do the bezel and bezel insert. Let's hear it. Very smooth, buttery, a little bit dampened, which I like. But you can feel each click, and it's very nice. It feels premium, smooth, buttery, with just the right resistance. It's a magical insert and bezel. The insert is the famous Cerachrome insert. It is made out of ceramic, and the gaps in the ceramic are filled with a platinum spray. DLC, I don't know how they do it, but there's actual platinum sprayed into the numbers and the hash marks of that insert. So very nice. And we have a pearl at 12 with a sapphire cap. So ultra durable, ultra strong, ceramic, sapphire, platinum. Very nice insert. Now the sapphire crystal has anti-reflective coating. Yes, not the blue one. I believe it's clear. Rolex says it themselves, it does have it, but isn't that great? But it does a little bit of work, but not much. I heard some people on the forums complaining they think it doesn't have any, but Rolex says it does, so it does. There's a small bevel on that sapphire, sticks out slightly, and it is flat, and we have, of course, that Cyclops, because this is the Submariner date. Now look at that crown, it lines up basically perfect. Signed crown. That's a great sight to see. Triplock Rolex crown. You have the 3 dots at the bottom indicating triple seal, triple lock. Very nice Submariner 300 meter water resist. Now the dial and hands. As you can see, beautiful lacquered inky black finish. Very nice. It looks stunning, and it does have a lot of text, which I'm not a fan of the text. It's an encyclopedia. We got the crown, we got Rolex, we got Oyster Perpetual, we got Submariner, we got 300 meters, we got superlative chronometer, and what's the last one? Officially certified. I could do without the superlative chronometer and officially certified. Come on, it's kind of like the same thing. Just give me, I want Rolex, of course. I want the logo. I want the word Submariner, of course, and maybe 300 meter. Clean it up a bit, Rolex. Come on. In 10 years on the next gen, I know you're not watching this, but if you are, by some miracle, let's clean up that beautiful dial. Now, this one does have white gold indices, beautiful applied indices, and it's made out of precious metal. And the hands as well are precious metal, white gold. So very nice. The movement, of course, hacks and hand winds. There we go. Feels amazing. The dial and hands are a thing of beauty. I hope the camera is bringing it out. It's just a great contrast. Such a dark, deep black with beautiful, vivid white gold and white text. I hope you guys are seeing the beauty. Now, I forgot to mention, of course, it's a screw down crown. Very easy to work. Works every time. Very smooth, buttery. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Now, let's check out the price. The price of the Submariner. Well, the price is the market price, because that's how it goes with Rolex. The people decide the price. All right. Now, let's compare it with a 40 mil. You know what? 62 mass. So the 62 mass is a 39.9 millimeter, and this one is a 41. So you guys can see how it wears. Definitely looks a little bit bigger, sub. What do you guys think? The thinness is about the same, but the 62 mass has 2 mils of a huge boxed sapphire. So there we go. It is a 41, but you know, it might wear smaller to some people. To me, I put it on my wrist, it definitely feels like a 41. So I don't know, you guys have to try it out, but let's do a wrist shot. Here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist. And look at that. The look is amazing. It has tons of wrist presence and beautiful oyster, seamless design, tapered on the bracelet, taper on those beautiful lugs, loving it. Now, my only negative is I wore it all day yesterday and there is a gap there and there, and that is because I'm exaggerating it now, but I saw it all day yesterday, and basically it is because the watch has such a deep case back and the case is so straight. So those two factors contribute to it sitting a little bit high. Do you guys see it kind of floating? So a little bit of a float, and maybe not as comfortable for some people. like for me, but if you have a flat wrist, a flat top wrist, or a bigger wrist with more surface area, it will negate that. But just keep in mind, if you have a 6.5 inch wrist or under and a relatively round wrist, this is not going to fit you well, and it might feel uncomfortable like it did for me. But look at that beauty. It's such a stunner. So you might be able to forgive that floating look and comfort level if you just love that look. So this is superlative chronometer from Rolex. Basically, Rolex sends it out to COSC. They get COSC certified in 5 positions. Then when it comes back home to Rolex, they put it in 6 positions and they further regulate it. +2, -2 seconds a day. Amazing. 271 amplitude, a little bit low, but we got, of course, perfect beat error, and we got 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 28.8 VPH. Very nice. Only one snowflake I see. So excellent movement, of course. I didn't even want to put it on the time grapher because, you know, Rolex certifies it and does it after COSC. It is so well looked after. But yeah, I was hoping the amplitude be at least at 300. I did read on some Rolex forums, some people having some issues with the amplitude of the new movement. Of course, every time there's a new movement, there might be bugs and stuff that has to be worked out. Rolex is really good with replacements and service after sales, and they're always constantly improving. So if this movement ever gets an update, the first time you send it to a Rolex service center, your old watch will get that update. A new screw, a new spring, a new barrel, whatever. So no worries there. So +2, +2, +2, +2. And the last one, we're gonna call it +2. All right, very nice. All right, there is the lume, and it is that beautiful Rolex Cerachrome. Wait, not Cerachrome. Parachrome? What do they call their lume? Chromolite. Ugh, man. These Rolex names are tough to remember. So there we go. We got the Chromolite blue. It looks like BGW9. You can see that lume pip. Excellent lume. I have a little bit of a nightlight in the background, and it is doing amazing. Let's compare it to the 62 mass. There we go. Seiko's is a little bit brighter, and let me do a real life check. Yeah, so in real life, they are pretty close. I would say almost spot on. Maybe the Seiko's a tad brighter, but it could be because of that blue color. It is very easy on the eyes. But yeah, so both have excellent lume right there. Nice. There we go. Here it is under some half lighting. And what do you guys think about this icon? I'm a fan of Rolex, 100%. Now I like how they take that evolution approach, not revolution, making things better slightly with the Swiss lever escapement improvements, and just the design, keeping it simple. I remember seeing a Porsche and it looked exactly the same as the old one, and Porsche said 100% of the body panels were redesigned, and I was blown away. So this is the same thing. It's gonna look almost exactly like the previous generation. So not too shabby if you like the Submariner. Keeping that heritage, keeping that iconic look, but of course, all different. And in my opinion, improved. I think it's improved. I'm gonna say it's a nice improvement. The only thing that I think might be a ding is that barrel being thinner walled and hard to change out. You know, because Rolex you want to keep for the next generation, and what if they don't make the barrel anymore? What if the 3235 has been discontinued for 100 years at that point? So I don't know. I wish Rolex redesigns the barrel, makes it thicker, and just lowers the power reserve a little bit, just to 60 hours. Like, I know they have to be 70 because everyone's at 70 now minimum. So I know they had to a little bit conform, which usually they don't do, but they did it. So it is what it is. hopefully Rolex stays around forever so the barrels can be replaced easily. You just buy a new barrel from Rolex, done. All right, so if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.